I'm interested in your bad map app experiences. I think we've all had these if we do any kind of walking outside or trying to find places using our phones while we're walking around. So, GPS isn't really all that accurate, and it turns out the tiny magnetometers that we use to tell direction, they don't tell us much. So, our phones are having to make up a lot of the location data that they're using. A lot of that works out okay if you're in a car, but not so much when you're a pedestrian. Turns out the difference of just a few meters or slightly wrong direction is just puts you totally going the wrong way. Turns out that a lot of these things end up being movement based, so you have to move around to try to make your device think it knows what direction you're walking. Unfortunately, it's often wrong. We know a lot of the ways to fix some of these problems, right? If our devices were honest about not knowing where we were, or if we had access to landmarks, we might actually have a better sense of our own personal navigation. My bad map app, I couldn't find my way from one shop to another across the street because I couldn't figure out where I was. So with Apple Maps, it wouldn't show me any of the street names. I couldn't figure out what direction I was facing. So I couldn't get from one shop on one side of the road to a shop on the other side.
When engaging in hiking trails, current hiking app interfaces do little to tell us about the actual nature of the trail or even the current limitations in accessing the trail through public transportation. In the few times I've tried to access a trail via public transportation, I've had to walk along the highway through office buildings and under bridges to get to the trail. Now, as a novice hiker, the apps do provide us with information on possible trails and provide us opportunities to explore trails that we may not have known without these tools. Having said that, the app's current limitations for users engaging with nature can cause anxiety for new users. An example I'd like to describe here is when I began to use the navigation feature on a trail and realized only about halfway that I hadn't pressed the start route at the start of the trail. Now, when I finally managed to switch it on, the map suddenly lost the original trail and left me and my friends lost. Now, we had no idea whether we had been successfully following the original trail that we had agreed upon or whether we had been randomly hiking up the wrong trail all this while. Eventually, when I rebooted the app, we found ourselves somewhere in the middle of the trail, but the elevation estimate stated that we had barely scratched the surface. This was quite disheartening since we had been hiking for about 30 minutes when the app began to work, even though the app only measured about 3 minutes of hiking after the reboot. Similarly, the apps also fail to reconsider routes when certain paths are blocked and still enforce them when using the navigation button. I remember one case where the original path was covered in weeds and undergrowth and involved going down a ravine. Ravine. When I chose a route running parallel or close to the original trail, it could not update the trail to showcase how these two paths could connect again, leading to further confusion and discomfort while hiking. In this way, the app enforced a certain expectation on users even before they enter the trail, like the optimum time or location to press the navigation button, the expectation of car use for transit, or a lack of flexibility when paths are no longer feasible. Thank you.
First day back at teaching. But where is my lecture theatre? This isn't helping. I know. Pokemon Go to the rescue. There it is. But wait a minute. A legendary Pokemon raid. I better go and catch it. It might be a shiny.
Hi, I'm Don. I started going from Faculty of Information Technology of my campus to the Monash Heart Hospital using Google Maps. So this is the path that I selected from Google Maps. You will see it next on a screen, and this is the starting point that it gave me. So I start walking, and I will explain some of the barriers that I sort of encountered on the way while using this map. I met my first junction. The map shows me that direction, but I can see already that if I go in this direction, my path will be shorter. So I'm moving on, moving along the shorter path that I identified. So I'm already in the next junction, but this time it seems Google Maps showed me the correct direction. So I encountered the first staircase of my journey. So you can see the staircase here, but unfortunately the Google Map didn't show me this staircase. So now I'm walking on this gravel path, you can see, and that's the Monash Heart Hospital. So I'm in this junction now. So you can see there's a footpath going in that direction to the Heart Hospital. So that's the Heart Hospital. So that footpath clearly goes to the Heart Hospital. But if you look at the map, it doesn't suggest that footpath. It doesn't even show there's a footpath exists to go to Heart Hospital.